Alright, howdy everyone. Thank you for tuning in on this Monday. Very sunny, so much a Monday. If it sounds like there is a lawnmower going on in the background, that's because there's a lawnmower going on in my background. I think that's my neighbor mowing their lawn. Uh, and if it sounds like uh, half of my face is swollen, that's because half of my face is swollen. Went to the dentist. Dentist poked around and he's like, give you some antibiotics. Come back when your face doesn't look like a balloon, because it's been off and on. Feeling good though today. Got some Tylenol in me. Hashtag non-spawn. But get into the M1 stuff. Whole lot of stuff happened this weekend, and I'm gonna start it off with a poll. Now that we have seen 3 Misty Mountains, third time we've had the Misty Mountain Grand Prix in Marbula 1 in the race lineup. Which one was the best? Which Misty Mountain was the best? Start off with that. We got S2. We got S3. And we got S4. Whole lot of storylines happening with all of these. Season 2-1 was just completely off the rails, right? Season 3 we had the Clutter Redemption. And now this time around should have been the Cerulean Redemption. Kinda happened. Didn't look like it happened to the extent that we would expect from Cerulean, from the Cobalts, from these storylines. But from how Cerulean entered this race to where they ended, did a pretty good job, Cerulean. Yes, Cerulean was decent. Yeah. So, Greg did say the thing. Whole lot of bingo spots happen. Whole lot of bingo spots not happening. The one that had the chance of a 10 times less likely than getting struck by lightning. That obviously wasn't going to happen. But some of the things that didn't seem to happen did happen. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into some primary carry. And gotta talk about some podium contenders. Overall standings. This stream is brought to you by the letter O, but not O. O times 13,000. We're doing 13,000 O's to match with the 13,000 Mo's that Momokai is trying to flood my chat with. But a whole lot to talk about today. And yeah, how is everyone doing today? I am doing alright, aside from the fact that my lower right side of my face looks like, well, it actually isn't that bad. Kind of feels not great. Not the worst swelling I've had, but still pretty bad. But we're getting through it. It's only going to get better from here. It is a warm and toasty 75-ish degrees. Something's too hot. This weekend, really nice. It was 55 and rainy. That's how summers ought to be. That's how I know my Junes to be. Right? This heat stuff, this hot stuff, this super sunny sun time, too hot. But perfect weather for watching an absolute elite performance from some of these marbles as I lose my hearing because I had the volume all the way up. We are rolling And Greeks are the thing. I love the fact that we have no idea where the hazers are. This is just the thing. We have no idea where they are. Okay, so we found Roldo last time around. This one is all the way to the toughest. Max difficulty. He is familiar with the ways of the hazer's mysterious culture. Is that a Dion reference? Is Roldo on some of that haze maze doing a guided shaman meditation? Question mark? Roldo? So, on my thoughts on this one, with what is on the line this season, this is the best we've ever seen Misty Mountain be. And that's not saying
Cloudy.
that's not coming from a biased Rangers fan, because I'm not a biased Rangers fan. I am the biggest Pinky stan, always have been, always will be. Coming from a Pinky stan standpoint, a stand point, if you will, this was the worst race, the most awfulest race in the history of awful races. But in terms of Rangers, it's a pretty solid course. In terms of overtakes, in terms of these battles, this straightaway put in work. Thought a whole lot of people were going to try to pull a yellow off of that ramp. No injuries yet, knock on wood, for either direction. It would be good for my bingo, but it would also be good for the health of these marbles to not fall off cliffs.
From the Cobalts and Swacks of the Bumblebees, but different team lineups, different conditions. The haze a bit thicker this time around.
Yeah, Pinky's with 0 overtakes.
Make it mistier, in fact. If that is,
I thought this was going to be a wire-to-wire one. I was surprised when it wasn't. Because Speedy starting P2, Clementon starting P1. The only way you let Speedy not be in first is that you just not let them be in first. Because the moment they get up there, they're not taking that lead back. Yeah, the defending was insane. It was such a heavy defensive bout, and already Speedy, right off the get-go, dropping 5 spots. We don't really see when that happens. But that straightaway put in work, and these twisty windies, these hairpins, made things extremely exciting in terms of these overtakes. Because Speedy completely drops, and you'll see Cerulean run it back in this. They're in 16th now, not going to stay there for long. And you're going to see Momo run it back. An absolute moment this weekend. Jumping up 2 spots right there. We're in... oh, yeah, there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Okay. Pinky Winky's abbreviation is win. The irony is too much. Definitely, although reigning Marbula champs, so you win some, you lose some. Definitely for the Raspberry Racers, you win some, you lose some. Whole lot of losing in this competition, which we'll get into later. Actually, we're getting into that now. That's why I'm backing it up. This is way too quick, definitely. I think the laps could stand to be shorter. I hope... only 3 races left. Don't say... I don't think the helices are coming back because only 3 races to go. I don't think they're coming back. We have Electron Expressway, Stardust Accelerator, and Casino Square. And with how all these races are going, I think they'll be about 20-second lap times. Maybe they could throw us in for a loop, give us a curveball, make it a 25-second lap times. But these have been quick laps, yeah. And Pinky Winky almost got lapped because of how fast these laps are. Not sure anyone else feels about it. Let me know what you think on how these lap times have been. Because they could stand to be longer. You can still have some Neumi marbles, some Zoomy marbles, and still have a very long lap, right? So, 2 laps in, Razzy's in 5th. And I do believe you get to see it. We might hit the Grog Woods early. Yeah, we go in Grog Woods early because not a whole lot of overtakes, whole lot of challenges for first. But the standings stayed pretty much the same. And then this. Watch Razzie.
As they
okay, so slow already. Onto this turn, jumps the embankment.
all together into that.
Gotta give him that grog
pin.
all
As they
together.
drop through and end the first
Yeah, okay. So
far hairpin.
So loses whole lot of momentum, hitting that embankment, hitting the wall.
As they drop
Everyone goes past them. They just lose so much momentum, so much time,
through and end the first.
and then splits the difference. Loses even more momentum because they didn't hit that ramp, that source speed boost. They just effectively did the best you could do to miss out on that speed boost. So that drops them to from 5th to 9th. And then 18th. What the heck happened? We don't get to see what happens here. Oh. I guess they just found every single wall. This is Misty Mountain. Doing their best hazy impression. Razzie dropping off the face of the earth. Raspberry Racer, Shining Swarm, and the Pinkies. That's a winning matchup if it's the Marble League as of late. But this is M1, and that is catastrophe. Speaking of cats, Red Eye up in second all of a sudden. Speedy working it back to third. And then Rima, Ecto, and Momo. So pretty solid contenders, all things considered. Primary, still the best team to have not won a race. Oh yeah, and there's that overtake by Speedy. You cannot give them those inside lanes. You can't give them an inch. You give them an inch, they give you a mile. Clem not the cleanest entry onto that speed boost. And Speedy takes it to perfection. What an overtake. Kick Razzie's back in the soil. Definitely. The only question is, who do you swap the Razzies out with? The obvious answer, you switch them with the Indigo Stars. But this is Yellow's Marble Runs. Sometimes the obvious answer is not the one they go with. So, honestly, and with enough fan backlash, of course, now that a lot of fans are backlashing against everything, if the Indigo Stars get enough, I don't know, exposure. If we just keep saying the name Indigo Stars, they're definitely a fan favorite to be in season 5. I'm honestly seeing the solar flares in Marbula 1 before the before the Indigo Stars, just because it seems like the league has it against them for some reason. People saying JJ Snowballs, definitely not the Jungle Jumpers. Dear God. We've literally learned that some of the JMA don't want the Indigo Stars on there. Yeah, it is. Did we get actual confirmation? Because I know Mino said something odd about that. Anyway, Speedy there, and then Rima also hitting that straightaway nicely. Clem, yeah, you saw that right there. We'll frame by frame it on this entry onto the ramp, hits the middle, loses momentum, and then just sort of. This is me and bowling, right? Because you know, as much as I toot my own horn, say I'm the best at a lot of things, or at least palpable, I always gotta have some bumpers up when I'm bowling, right? This is how I use the bumpers. A lot of people just like, oh, worst case, you know, have the bumper. No, I am zigzagging off of these bumpers. Clementon looking like me bowling, just dong, 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 losing all that momentum. And then Speedy comes down, Rima comes down, Acto comes down. Whole lot of speed. Absolute insane challenge for first. In terms of what we've seen from Misty Mountain's past, this makes me excited for Misty Mountain's future, because Misty Mountain's present, pretty darn good. Very exciting race, whole lot of overtakes. Thought Clem was going to pull a Raceway Clem, right? Thought that it was just going to be the beginning of the end. Just keep dropping, especially with Speedy up on the front. They can't keep getting away with it. And thankfully for us, for the world, for humanity, for Marbelanity, Marble insanity, they did not get away with this. Rima with a nice overtake, but because this is season 4 camera work, we did not get to see the overtake. We just got to see Pinky Winky absolutely jogging. Like, what is that? I want to see these mad dashes. So someone said that they wish the camera stayed on Pinky Winky more just so they could see the battle for first. Because all these overtakes, Rima, come on. How often do we see Rima in the top spot over Speedy, over Red Eye, over Momo, over Clementon? How often do we see this Rima in the top spot? Have they ever led at all? Again, Team Primary, best team this season to have not won a race. They are very solid. The first half of the tournament was not the best for Team Primary, but they are absolutely running it back. Thought it was going to be a carrot. Thought Rima was going to do the carrying. Now they're both in stride. They are both very solid racers. That nice bump off of the belt, dropping Speedy, giving him some separation. But of course, this straightaway can only do so much, because Speedy just has that dog in him, although absolutely ate that wall right there. But how often? When was the last time? Because this is their first. Now, this isn't Rima's first season. But when was the last time Rima led Race Forest at the starting gate. So 2 years. My gosh. 2 years for a Rima overtake. Don't even get to see it. We do get to see all of this Speedy eating the wall. Look at this. Frame by frame. Dunks. And then bounces. All momentum lost. Ooh, still doing a little bit of defense, keeping Ecto back, and Ecto playing some defense, keeping Clem back. But they all ended up on the same row of the belt, and that's how Clementon's able to keep it going. Almost hit a parlay. I did get Clementon's thing, and I got Speedy fastest lap. Speedy had the fastest lap for just a little bit. And then a Hart. Good on you, Hart. Blackjacks are definitely a team. Definitely a team. But I did have Tumult and Billy, I do believe. Again, there are just some of these teams who are not good, and at least for this season, and they are going to stay not good. For the time being. Yeah, who did I say? I said Clem, Billy, Tumult, Podium, Speedy, fastest lap, Razzie, slowest lap. Need to find these time deltas because I think I might have been onto something, especially with how Razzie found every single wall, every single nook and cranny this track has to offer. I think I got that. I think Razzie might have had the slowest lap. All right, all I need to do is see that stiff arm. Get that separation. Clem was able to overtake off of the belt. Yeah, Rima, that was what Greg Woods was talking about. I thought Rima actually went in to the safety marble lane the way that Greg talked about it, because this is Misty Mountain, and the safety marble lanes have played key factors before, right? So Rima just took a bad entry off of that conveyor. Clem with a solid entry, and then that move right there, that separation, pushing him forward, pushing him ahead. I really wish they would focus on the leaders more instead of the mid-pack, because the mid-pack is mid for a reason, although there is a nice overtake by whoever it may concern. I really actually don't know who that is. Now a Stinger. An overtake by Stinger for 12th place. Ooh-wee. Can't miss where the real action is, guys. And then meanwhile, Clem finishes the lap, and all these peeps are 4 seconds back from the real action. And then this entry lane again. These are cool angles, but put it in a split screen, because while Pinky Winky's starting a lap, Clementon's finished. Amazing. These laps go by quickly. That is correct. They are too quick, and Pinky Winky just too slow with it. But you see, Cerulean started in no man's land, worked it up back to 8th. So Cerulean, not out yet. Not out the picture yet. Has 1 race now left. Royal has 2 races still. If I'm Sapphire, it is going to be next week with Electron Expressway. And then finish the season out at Casino Square. I think Royal's going to be a great closer. Cerulean having issues holding their own. But if Royal carries, which Royal can carry because Royal goated like that, I think the Cobalts will be fine. Knock on wood. I am indifferent to the struggles of the Cobalts because I don't know, more material, I guess, for a roast vid. But if you are a Cobalt's fan watching this, I know there is a certain possum watching this, and you just want to knock on all the wood in your vicinity, go ahead and knock on all the wood in your vicinity if you're a Cobalt's fan that Royal runs it back and that Cerulean doesn't absolutely collapse. Because Cerulean had a pretty alright showing. Pretty alright showing for the fact that they started in, it was 17th place, 18th place. Able to run it back, top 10 finishes, pretty solid. So there's that belt. We don't get to see any overtakes. We just have the graphic to hold us close. Watch these stragglers for whatever reason. Look at this. Look at that. Look the moment Pinky Winky comes off of that belt, Clementon is crossed the finish line. The moment that Pinky Winky leaves the belt, Clementon enters the belt, and we do not see it for whatever reason. What if there was an overtake? What if there was a crash? What if 20 marbles DNF? Oh, okay, not that many. But what if 12 marbles DNF at that turn and we don't see it? Because we're so focused on Pinky Winky riding the struggle bus so hard. Great defense on that one. Red Eye almost had it. This straightaway was close. Normally in situations like these, I would bite my nails so hard. But I knew that Clem had it down. Phenomenal defense. Pushing and shoving Red Eye out of the way, getting that nice separation. A third of a second back, and then 2 full seconds clear of everyone. 3 full seconds clear of 4th. Again, not a whole lot of... Look at this! Look at that! That was Pinky Winky! Why are we paying attention to this angle so hard? And Pinky Winky, I think, finally coming up the belt, and there's Clementon. Yeah, no, there's Pinky Winky. Clem just crossed the finish line. I really wanted Pinky Winky to get lapped. Although there wasn't a whole lot of things to bonk on. Again, if there are helices, then maybe a different story. But I thought this was going to be the race. It could still happen. We don't know what the rest of these tracks are going to look like, right? Especially Casino Square being a new one. So there's Pinky Winky on lap 13 still. And there's Clementon on lap 14. Clear of Red Eye. Absolute money. And of course we have the true competition for not 19th. Pinky Winky's basically got last in the books. And there's Speedy with fastest lap with just 3 laps to go. Thought that's how it was going to stay. Thought I was going to hit an absolute phenomenal parlay on my part with the Clementon win Speedy fastest lap. It did not stay that way as far as fastest lap goes. But for a Clem win, much needed. And then Pinky Winky, whatever Pinky Winky is doing. Oh, and there's Momo. There's Momo. Man, just a handful of turns. That's like 2 seconds, 3 seconds difference in between Clem and Pinky Winky. Okay, we gotta get... Ooh! Let's see if we can see it from here. So there's Clem, Red Eye. There's Speedy, there's Momo, there's Cloudy, there's Ecto. Don't know how that happened because Ecto was ahead of all them peeps. Overtake happened there somewhere. Same with Rima! What happened, Rima? Rima was in first. And they dropped to 8th. Don't know what happened there because the camera was too busy focused on Pinky Winky being absolutely awful, wasting everyone's time coming up the belt. Whatever reason, they wanted these angles instead of these angles because how did Rima drop 7 spots in a blink of an eye? The world may never know. How did Momo jump up to 4th? The world may never know, but we can watch them jump up to 3rd right here in this frame by frame. Speedy absolutely eats that wall, loses a whole lot of momentum. Momo with that momentum makes the overtake. Stiff arm. Look at that defense. Phenomenal defense, not letting Speedy pass Momo up into 3rd now. Trying to overtake 2nd. Red Eye closing the gap hugely, bigly. But Clem goated, keeping that defense going. This is what I liked about this one, opposed from the Misty Mountains in the past. Whole lot of defense going. More so than the overtakes, more so than the speed boost. Defense wins championships. You've all heard that mount. Defense played a huge role in keeping the lead, right? You need speed, you need that acceleration to get to the lead, to overtake these marbles. But then you need the defense to make sure they don't overtake you so you don't lose out on those leads. Very solid defense from Clementon, proving that Raceway was just the host curse. Raceway was just the host curse. And then whole lot of stragglers finishing up that penultimate lap, and then Quasar stealing my parlay from me. It could have been great. Bet $20,000 on that. Pinky Winky finally taking the ramp. And then we cross the finish line in the order we see. Billy, Sirius, what happened? Pinky Winky, 18 seconds back in a 16-second lap time. How did they not get lapped? The world may never know. All right, let's get this
Ecto, Rima,
penultimate.
Cloudy, Heart, and Thunder.
It was lap 15. They say.
Is back. Now half a second between him. Speedy goes fastest lap, takes 200ths off our previous best time. Between him, 2 laps remaining. Some in the tank for a final challenge in the few laps remaining. Here it comes back. Now half a second between him. Speedy goes fastest lap, takes 200ths off our previous best time. Sitting in 3rd spot, here comes Red.
Where was penultimate? He said it. And I just about...
once again.
Oh, this is a start of...
I think that was just a cool down lap, ready to mount that next challenge. Here comes Red Eye over the curbs, keeping it under control, loses momentum in that penultimate turn.
Penultimate. We haven't had a penultimate. It's been a long time coming. We have not had a penultimate. We didn't have it all throughout season 6 of Sand Rally. We have not had a Grog Woods say penultimate. We need a Grog Woods penultimate.
I think that was just a cool down lap, ready to mount that next challenge. Here comes Red Eye over the curbs, Keeping it under control. Loses momentum in that penultimate turn.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Grog Woods says penultimate, my life is complete.
That next challenge. Here comes Red Eye over the curbs. Keeping it under control. Loses momentum in that penultimate turn.
That is me commentating these. This is me. 5 breakfast mimosas. Now this is me sober. But get Greg some 5 bottomless breakfast brunch mimosas. Hop into the M1 booth. She loses it. Penultimate turn. 6 months he hasn't said penultimate. That is forever in Greg Wood's time and Grog Wood's time. Most definitely. All right. Okay, so there we have with the highlights, the overtake, the stiff arm, back, the beginning of the end for Rima. Sorry, Rima, had to do it to him, had to stunt on the haters, had to get that 28-point weekend. 3 points for pole, 25 points for the gold. And then Red Eye running back for they team. Also, one of those marbles had a rotten start to the, well, actually just the one qualifier. Oh, Raceway. Went 20th to 3rd. Clementon went 3rd to 20th. Absolute host curse moment. And then Cerulean, not bad, jumping up 11 spots, finishing in 7th. Hard also not bad, jumping up 7 spots. Razzie Mocha, Sirius, Billy, Pinky Winky. Billy! From 6th to 19th. That is pain if I ever felt pain, which I do feel pain because my bottom right cheek is the size of something the bottom right side of your cheek is not supposed to be. That being said, I have not taken 20th place in a race before. Red Eye still the GOAT. No conversation, he's the GOAT. Wow, the poll right now is split. S2 and S4 for the best at 40% each. I think it's people saying season 2 because of the meme. But people like in season 4 because it was just a better race. Let me end that. And let me do who's GOAT. Who is the GOAT? Who is M1 GOAT? The GOAT! We got Red Eye. We got Orangin. We got Speedy. And who should it just be or Momo? Why not? Who is M1 GOAT? And I know I'm about to see 1% on Momo. How to do it. Photo meme. There's a nice podium, and I say nice because it's Clem on top, jumping up 25 spots. They were in 36. doing nothing, going nowhere. All of a sudden, 28-point weekend. Meanwhile, Royal, again, we haven't seen Royal in a bit. Dropping a spot, or a couple spots rather, because haven't seen him in a while. We'll get Royal back in there. They'll be back there on the table. Momo jumping up into second in overall individual standings, 10 points below the first place of Cloudy. Absolutely phenomenal season so far from them. 84 points. That's more than some teams right now. All right, let's see where all these other shaking up. Clementon in one race, jumping up to 11th. That is insane. Joining their teammate Orangen, bringing the Orangers closer together. No carry here. Rima and Arup, no carry here. Quasar and Starry, no carry here because they're both bad. Fenrir Sirius, no carry because they're both bad. And then Razzie and Rizzy, both bad. Bolt is going to stay there because the Bolts are just bad, although Thunder is somewhere where they shouldn't be. Yeah, in 20th. And that was from one race. That was from one race. 27th is Blue Eye. Yeah, Blue Eye got to get it together. That is... Is that the hardest carry? We have Mimo in 29, so that's a gap of 27 spots. Mimo, sad times. Blue Eye, only 22. So this is the hardest carry right now. Is Mimo getting carried by Momo? Because Momo, Team Momo, for all intents and purposes, should be in the top spot. If not for Mimo dragging the whole team down. We do have this nice drawing from Momokai because Marble Depression is like this league's #1 export. It's not meme over yet, man. Hey, it's your drawing. Look at those tiers. Look at this high res. Good God. Absolute elite. You get anything that I draw, you get pixels. But look at the how far can we zoom? I'm a come in with the straw. Drink Team Momo tears. Because I don't know, this is your drawing. Stop being mean to me. Like this looks pretty meme over to me. Poor Mimo. Because you were depressed. Iowa moment. More people have voted for Momo and Speedy. Red Eye is just the undisputed Red Eye GOAT, I guess. Alright, let's check out these overall standings. Peep Team Plasma. Peep Team Plasma! If you're us, what number are we thinking of? 69, dudes! Wonderful day for my bingo, aside from not everyone getting on the podium because we have repeats now. But again, 10 times less likely than getting struck by lightning. So that was just not going to happen after 6 races. Now the big thing. Hazers extending the lead by 9. Ooh-wee, just by 9. But that is extension. We've seen what the Hazers have done with 3 events left, 4 events left, holding on to this top spot in the championship. We've seen what can happen. Knock on wood, Hazers fans. Only 3 events left. Not a lot of time for a lot of these teams to overtake, okay? Because if you're looking this, I cannot do math, but this is like 30-something, 29 ahead of Momo, so that can happen in a weekend. Primary needs a bit more loving. O-Rangers, Cat's Eyes need a bit more loving. Not a whole lot of time for these teams to catch up. But if the Hazers start slipping, which they have the propensity to do, they have the history of doing, although no Hazy, right? Hazy was fired because of this exact reason. If they lose the lead, if they slowly start slipping, there won't be a whole lot of time to get the lead back, right? So we can see what the Savage Speeders do, Cobalts do, Momo, Primary. Again, it's still there, right? If you want a Como Mary, right? All they gotta do, jump up. The Como Mary podium's still alive and well. The Mo Mazary is still there. Anyone but the Savage Speeders, please, dear God. The other thing, 29 points is what you get for a perfect weekend. Haven't had a perfect weekend yet. That should have been one of my bingo squares. Marble gets a perfect weekend. 29 points. You get 3 for pole. 25 for winning it. 1 point for fastest lap. We got 87 points. 87 points left on the table. And that's with 3 perfect weekends in a row, which has never happened. So anyone under 30 points cannot win Marbula 1 Season 4. So if you are named the Balls of Chaos, the Thunderbolts, the Bumblebees, the Wolfpack, the Chocolatiers, or the Raspberry Racers, you are done. If you are the bottom 6 teams, your season is over in a Season 4 of Marbula 1 in which you are not rolling because you are in the bottom 6. Thunderbolts somehow doing it with the bronze. They had 1 point. In 5 races, they had 1 point. And now look at this. 2 races. 22 points. How about it on the up and up, Thunderbolts? So Hazers 9 points back of the Speeders. Speeders 16 points clear of the Cobalts, who seem to be slipping with Cerulean. Again, we'll have to wait for Royal to do a hard carry because Royal GOAT. And then Momo 29 points back behind the Speeders, or behind the Hazers rather, so that can happen in 1 weekend. If they put Mimo in, it's probably Mimo next weekend at Electronic Expressway. Cobalt's home turf. Mimo. Let's hope Mimo don't get distracted. If you know what I mean. If you know, you know. If you don't know, then you won't know, kind of thing. But 1 weekend can have that happen for Momo. Anyone else will need to run the table. It can happen in 2 weekends for a bit of the mid-pack. And then everyone from the Shining Swarm up is going to need a miracle. And again, Team Primary in 5th have not won a race yet. Maybe if Eric goes in, that can change. But who knows? Host curse next week. Royal downfall art can't happen. Cannot happen. Alright, so we got that math out the way. Let's go to the bingo. Because we have some bingo spots. Have not said that. At all. Was this season 2, or is this race 2? I know Team Galactic finished fifth. There might have been race 3. But we have not had a bingo yet. We've had more crossings out of potential spots more often and more recently than we've had any bingo spots. Okay. Rip in peace for this bingo spot right here. Because not every team can podium. Let's actually go back to that graphic. There are only 12 spots left. And I did the math wrong. I did the math wrong. Now there are 12 spots left. There were 12 spots. Never mind. Never mind. I was right. Thought there were 4 top spots. Don't know why I was thinking 4. I did the math right. Math is over. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams who have yet to podium and only 9 podium spots. Who do you think it's going to be? Let's actually go back to that. Orange got their dub out the way. We got Pinkies, Glaciers, Galactic, Ducks, Blackjack, Shining Swarm, Balls of Chaos, Bees, Wolfpack, Chocolatiers, Razzies. There are going to be at least 2 teams to not podium. Who do you think the podiums will be? Cobalt's the one, Marbula one that is definitely an astute astuteness, I guess. That is definitely a prediction. That is definitely something that can happen, should happen. I'd want to happen. Dear God, not the speeders. Please, dear God, not the speeders. But we do have a team with that is... Ah! Gotta clip that sound. That was an interesting sound that left my mouth. Do have a team with 69 points, Team Plasma. Thank you. No podiums for Chalk and Bot. Yeah, I believe it. Chalk and Bot, no podium. Could definitely see that happening. Greg says penultimate. No 10-second win yet. Let's hope that happens. No host team winning, though. Although, Royal. Hey, Royal. Electron Expressway next week. Royal going to carry his team and my bingo to greatness. No DNF, although we were that close. We were that close to a DNF. No streakers. Kudos to the Marble security, stadium security, not letting anyone on that shouldn't be on. But Greg saying penultimate and a team with 69 points. Like, from having no bingo spots in a few weeks to all of a sudden 2 bingo spots. We are on the up and up. This can happen. Okay, this can happen. This could happen. Okay, marble injury. Hey, Mimo. Electron Expressway. If you want to, work that Team Momo charm. But a DNF, a 10-second win, a wire-to-wire race, and a new champion, I think those could all happen easily. 10-second win is going to be very tough. You're going to see a traffic jam happen. Or if Greg I don't think a 38-second qual lap is going to happen just because of how fast these lap times have been, how short these circuits have been. Man. Wing and a prayer for my bingo, especially with all the things that can't happen, that couldn't happen. I don't know. Maybe if Greg mentions a duck, please. Please, Greg. It's just offhand comment about a duck. I need it. 6 contenders in a final race. I think that is solidly going to happen. A lot of these have a chance to happen. Don't know if a bingo is going to happen. Although if it does happen, it'll come in absolutely clutch. What if there is a reverse grid race at race 11? There is no race 11. Mimo gonna injure 19 other marbles. It's the only way. All right. Checks out. I did post something into the Discord that Raspberry Racers have a chance to win M1. All they need is hard work, determination, and 38 garrote wires. So, we in that nitty-gritty time. Only 3 races left. Can you imagine this? Think about that. I'm going to be back here on Friday talking about the qualifiers for race 8 of 10. Seems like yesterday this all happened. Seemed like yesterday was the start, and now this is almost over. Absolute nitty-gritty time. Check my minutes. We have reclamption. We have that Momo moment. The rip bingo, the yes bingo. Ruru runs it back. That is my notes. That is in my handwriting. Ruru runs it back. Championship runnings and champs done. Whole lot of teams done. Blackjacks have definitely had a season. Still have a shot. There are a few teams that have just been there. I think Blackjacks and the Swarm have just been there. Wolfpack, 16 points in only 2 races. 5 goose eggs. That is the most pointless races out of the field, and they're still in 18th because the Chocolatiers and Raspberry Racers are just that bad. I did promise a made tank bowl, right? And I think I'm going to do that after this. I'm going to pop over into Marble Base, do made tank bowl. I started it earlier and then my game died. The game has a habit of crashing in the worst ways. But that is a thing that is going to happen. A real sentence that has been said with my lips and my 2.5 cheeks, because my cheek is growing another cheek out of it with how swollen it is. But yeah. Razzies are the team that should not be invited. should have not been invited this year. I agree they shouldn't be anywhere near M1. I definitely see this as a reason to not put them in season 5 for next year. Definitely should swap out the Razzies for the Stars. It will not happen, so it's going to be Razzies and Bolts for the Flares and the Rockets, because the Marble Gods hate us. So that has been my minutes. Let me end this one. People saying Red Eye the Goat. I'll believe it. Mimo gonna do it, says the pinned comment from Momo Kai. I'll believe it when I see it. So those are my minutes. Those are my bingo spots filled, my 2 cents on all this. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see y'all Friday to talk about these quals from Electron Expressway. Let's see how it goes. Let's see which teams run it back. Let's see if any of these teams who are dead stay dead on a year that has been rolling for only a handful of these teams. Thank you all for joining me. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. And as always, Waluigi's going to lead us out. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.